Praise the Lord and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really intimate, unfolding family drama found right in the text of Genesis 25. It's a story completely packed with grief, the heavy weight of legacy, and honestly, what's arguably the ultimate foundational sibling rivalry. We're talking about real people making deeply flawed decisions that literally echo through history. So, let me ask you something right off the bat, just to get us thinking. Would you trade your entire future for a bowl of soup? Seriously, imagine just walking away from your entire family trust fund, giving up everything your parents worked a lifetime to build, simply because you were starving after a long day and someone offered you a fast food burger right then and there. It sounds completely absurd, right? But that's exactly the kind of human, deeply relatable mistake we're going to explore today. Okay, let's dive into this. The actual source text from Genesis 25 really grounds our personal story in the historical record of a patriarch's final days. We aren't just looking at abstract concepts here, guys. We're reading a direct family record of a father desperately trying to set his house in order before the very end. Section 1. Abraham's final days and the division of inheritance. And man, what a scale of life it was. Abraham breathed his last at the remarkable, ripe old age of 175. The text tells us he died at a good old age, an old man and full of years. And then, in this really beautiful, albeit brief moment of family unity, he was gathered to his people and buried in the cave of Machpelah by his two sons, Isaac and Ishmael. But before that peaceful burial could even happen, Abraham had to make some seriously tough administrative decisions. He deliberately left everything he owned to Isaac. But to avoid future conflicts, kind of like a modern CEO putting ironclad legal protections and severance packages in place before stepping down, he gave gifts to the sons of his concubines. He then literally sent them away to the land of the east, far, far away from Isaac. He was actively, intentionally trying to secure his primary heir's legacy. Moving on to Section 2, the line of Ishmael, a vast network. So Ishmael also lived a remarkably long life, reaching 137 years. He fathered 12 tribal rulers, creating this vast network of settlements and camps. But unlike Isaac's relatively settled start, Ishmael's descendants settled near the eastern border of Egypt. And as the text explicitly points out, they lived in hostility toward all the tribes related to them. So you can see how the familial tension was already brewing on a massive regional scale. Section 3. A troubled pregnancy, Rebekah's struggle. Now, what's really fascinating about this text is how vividly it describes what was happening to Rebekah during this pregnancy. It says the babies literally jostled each other within her. I mean, it was so intense, such a crazy physical struggle, that she actually cried out, "Why is this happening to me?" and went directly to inquire of the Lord. It wasn't just physical discomfort. She sensed something deeply significant, almost combative, was happening right inside her. And the answer she received is this dramatic, sweeping prophecy. 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples from within you will be separated. 1 people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger. I mean, wow! This absolutely sets the stage for a massive, lifelong family conflict. The deck is totally stacked, and the roles are reversed, before these boys even take their first breath in the outside world. So Isaac was 60 years old when these twin boys finally arrived. The first came out red, with his whole body like a hairy garment, so they named him Esau. Right after him came his brother, but with his hand literally grasping Esau's heel. Because of this, he was named Jacob. And fun fact, in Hebrew, Jacob means he grasps the heel, or he deceives. Talk about hitting the ground running with a highly competitive dynamic, right? Section 4, the brothers grow up, parental favoritism. Just look at this contrast. It is the classic setup for a modern sibling rivalry. Esau becomes this rugged outdoorsman, a skillful hunter, and because Isaac had a taste for wild game, well, Dad favored Esau. On the other hand, Jacob was a total homebody, completely content to stay among the tents, and he was the one favored by Mom, Rebekah. You can just feel the tension building in that household, can't you? It's a complete recipe for division. Section 5. Trading the birthright, a fateful choice. And this part brilliantly illustrates the rapid sequence of Esau's impulsive downfall. He arrives home exhausted and demands the red stew Jacob is cooking, dramatically claiming, "Look, I am about to die." He was definitely exaggerating his immediate need. But Jacob, ever the opportunist living up to his name, says, "First, sell me your birthright." And incredibly, Esau actually does it. He swears an oath, eats his bread and lentil stew, gets up, and just leaves. The text delivers this devastating summary. So Esau despised his birthright. He literally traded a priceless generational inheritance for a single fleeting meal. Section 6. Lessons for today. Avoiding Esau's mistake. So the crucial point is figuring out how we apply this. Let's look at 3 actionable steps for daily application. First, value your long-term legacy over short-term gratification. Whether it's your finances, your health, or your character, don't sell out your future for a temporary craving. Second, when you face deep internal struggles or confusion, don't just suffer in silence. Seek guidance, just as Rebekah went to inquire of the Lord when things felt chaotic. And third, actively make peace in your family. Whether it's setting clear boundaries like Abraham did or fighting against the toxic favoritism that Isaac and Rebekah fell into, take proactive steps right now to avoid generational rivalry. Which brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. I really want you to ask yourself, what legacy are you tempted to trade away for a momentary craving? Is it your professional integrity for a quick profit? Maybe it's your family relationships just for a moment of being right in an argument? Take a really hard look at what's in your bowl and what future you might be giving up to consume it. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this fascinating text. If you found this explainer helpful and want to keep learning with us, please like, share, and subscribe.